Good morning, Naomi.
Morning.
Good morning. How are we all doing?
Good.
Good, sir, and you made it.
Very good.
כבר התחיל?
Yeah. All right.
מתכנסים.
Yeah, we got everybody showing up now. All right.
אז תשאל אותו, מה תעשו עכשיו חודש בלעדיו?
Is Charles, is today the last class we have?
No, Friday.
Friday?
Everybody.
Yeah, Friday.
Thank you.
אז תשאל אותו אם יש מישהו שמחליף אותו.
אין מי שמחליף אותו.
I came on late. What is this about the last class Friday?
Well, this is the last of the 8-week class. Okay, and then I'll go on vacation for about a little over a month. I'll be back like after the first week of November. Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh my gosh.
Yeah.
You better get back because you don't get back. We're gonna go and hunt you.
Right?
Is leaving us home alone.
Yeah,
Yes.
Well, where to find me would be the problem because I can't even tell you where I'm going right now.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
Don't worry.
I'm basically going house hunting. I guess that's the big, that and doing a little painting along the way. So,
Okay.
We have some special devices. We can find you.
all right. Yeah. Well, all you have to do is track my cell phone,
Yeah.
and or just go to my Facebook page. Because actually I sent Claudia an email this morning. She was asking, what I was going to be doing. And I told her, right now, I really don't know. I don't know where I'll end up at. But along the way, I'm going to be doing some plein air painting and stopping and working, along the way. And as I do that, I'm going to be posting stuff to Facebook. So I'll have a computer with me, and I'll have my phone, and what more do you need these days, right? You can get around and go anywhere and still, put stuff online. So.
Will you resume in October then when you're back?
You mean in
Virtual
November?
classes?
Yeah. Yeah, I'll probably be back. I'm going to try to be back right at the end of October. And so I'll be posting classes, and then they'll actually start that after that first week in November. I'm skipping that first week because of the election. Okay. I don't. I don't want to miss the election. To actually participate in it, but I want to get that, to go, basically be over, and then I'll be back, from vacation. Okay. So, and that's what, November the 6th, right?
3rd.
Wait, is it November 3rd? Okay. Yeah.
The election is, yes.
Okay. Well, yeah. So, yeah, somehow November 6th is stuck in my head. Maybe that's the end of that week or whatever. And anyway, yeah, I think that's when my leave time runs out. So, and then I'll be back, and we'll do this again. Okay. Does that sound good to everyone?
We'll miss you. We miss you a month.
Yeah, you're gonna miss me for about a month. Okay.
We don't want it.
You don't want that? Well, I'll miss you guys too, but but yeah, we gotta get some things settled in life here, so it's gonna take me a little while to do that. But hey, look.
As long as we meet again.
Yeah, when I come back, I'll have some good stories, and I'll be able to tell you where it is that I finally ended up. Okay.
Okay.
So,
Good luck.
yeah, something to look forward to, right? At any rate, okay, we're going to get started, and I got a couple of things to share with you guys. Actually, Ilan and Veronica both sent me the same thing. I thought that was kind of remarkable and interesting that they both stumbled across the same web page. And it's about doodling. And so actually, Lawrence, you should be interested in this one. So these are little outtake images from this person's sketchbook. And in looking at them, there's been some Photoshop and playing around with them a little bit. I don't know exactly how they did some of the things they did, but they're really interesting. And how many of you keep a sketchbook? Many of you?
I do, yes.
Okay.
I do.
Yeah. A lot of
I
people,
just started mine.
yeah, a lot of people have a misunderstanding about sketchbooks. Okay. You know, they think that sketchbooks are sacred and that you can't do anything in them but a great drawing, right? And nothing,
Right.
yeah, nothing is further from the truth. You know, what sketchbooks are for is to keep track of your ideas, you know, little inspirations, things that come up. You know, I write, you know, in my sketchbook, you know, just, you know, if I don't have time to draw it out, I'll just write down ideas. I also keep my sketchbook by my bed so that when I wake up at 3:30 or 4 o'clock in the morning after, you know, having this idea pop into my head while I was asleep, you know, I can turn on the light and I got a pen right there and I can just, you know, thumbnail it out and write something a little, you know, a little bit about it. And that way I can kind of keep track of things, because I don't know about you, but it's like, you know, I get ideas, you know, for paintings that I want to do. And, you know, it's like a couple of days later, I'll be thinking about, yeah, that was a good idea for a painting, but kind of what was that really all about? And if you let it go, right, you kind of lose the freshness of that idea. So for me, it's like when that idea pops into my head, particularly like at night or in the morning or something, and it wakes me up, I want to get it down. I want to get it down in the sketchbook so I've got it. And then I can roll over and go back to sleep if I need to, or whatever. But my sketchbooks are full of little thumbnails and notes. They're also full of things that I collect. You know, when I go out on a walk or when I'm driving down the road or something like that, and I see something, I'll pull over and photograph it, you know, with my phone or whatever. And then, you know, I'll download it and print it, and then I'll cut it out, you know, the piece of paper, and stick it inside my sketchbook. That way I've always got it and I can go back to that idea. So there's a lot of different ways that you can use those sketchbooks, but what they're really valuable for is going back and really looking at ideas that you've had. And that way you don't lose them, you know, which is easy to do, you know, because you get a little further down the line, you know, that idea goes away, you know, because you've got others, you know, popping up. Anyway, let's take a look at this sketchbook. It's interesting stuff. Yeah, it's this guy right here. Okay. I'll get rid of that. Okay. And here, let me just start from the beginning. Can everybody see that web page?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So yeah, it says, you know, impossibly tiny doodles fill sketchbook pages with surreal optical illusions. So, you know, there's a little doodle, you know, inside of a sketchbook. And at least that's what it tells us that it is. It looks a little too clean and a little too neat on the edges for me to really believe that it's somebody's sketchbook. But it's a great optical illusion, you know, as we're literally almost like going down the rabbit hole, right? And can everybody see this one? Okay. And it's almost
No,
like
it's the same one. There it is. I see it now.
A hand.
a hand. Okay, good. You had me worried there for a minute. Like, uh-oh. Okay, how am I going to do this? Yeah, it's almost like a handprint. You know, you got all these little tiny flowers, and you know, there's this handprint in there. You got crystals coming out of the page.
Oh, okay.
Okay, and
what?
and again, you know, my thought is, yeah, I don't know about that. You know, it looks like this has been touched up in Photoshop. You know, interesting idea and all, but yeah, the highlights and everything being, you know, reflected or refracted from the crystals. Yeah, I don't know if I quite buy that one. Okay. You know, standing on the edge up there. You know, and again, you know, a nice three-dimensional effect. And you know, the thing is, all of these are done with, you know, black pen line.
Well, world.
Yeah, but there's no gray tones, right? You know, they're creating gray tones by actually, let's see.
Even spaces.
Yeah, I don't really have a way of enlarging that. Okay, that's a problem. But yeah, it's hatching and stippling, and you know, it's how much black versus how much white in a particular area gives you those different values, right? Something we've never heard about before, right? Value. You know, there's an interesting, you know, beautiful piece. Again, you know, how they're getting it to grip the finger. I think there's a little Photoshop magic involved in there. Okay. Same thing with the three-dimensional shadow here. You know, it makes it look not flat, but that definitely isn't pin line anymore. That's either some kind of soft material that they can blend, or it's added in, you know, photographs.
That's a good one. Looks like something from under the ocean.
Yeah. This
seaweed.
This one is particularly interesting as well, you know, because it feels three-dimensional, and in fact, and again, I think that's something that they've done in Photoshop.
Well, it says it's digital drawing.
Oh, is it all?
Yeah, right when you scroll down to that, it said that he experimented with digital drawing.
Yeah, the fuse, it worked in real life. So, you know, interesting stuff though. See?
But it looks like it has to be perfect on that book, you know? So that's just not a book.
Well, yeah. Yeah, I think for the purposes of this article, yeah, they probably edited out all of the failures. You know, and sketchbooks are generally full of lots of failures, but that's okay. You want to hang on to those, you know. It keeps you humble, right?
Yes.
Lets you know that, okay, yeah, you know, I'm not hitting 100% there. Anyway, interesting stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just really, really nice.
Did you watch any of them as they were making it, Charles? On the
No.
video, does it show?
Well, no, I just got this morning, and so I haven't had a chance to go through all the little video type things. You know, we could do one of those. Let's do the eye. Let's just click on it, see what it does. Okay, so you can see he's got it lightly penciled out.
It's really drawing real fast.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's sped up, obviously. Oh, okay.
It looks, yeah.
All right, so they're using a couple different weight of pins to come back in there and layer in some darker values, you know, thicker lines.
He's using a rapidograph.
No, I think it's one of those little permanent fine line markers that come in different weights.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I better stop mine.
You better stop yours. Why?
Yeah, I'm doing the eye with the eyelashes and doodles. So it looks like I'm copying. Damn it.
Oh well, you know.
I just waited 2 hours.
It's all been done before, Larry. So anyway, all right. So let's stop to share all that. Anyway, I thought that was a really interesting site. So thank you both, Ilan and Veronica, for sending that. I figured two
Yeah,
people.
I want to thank Elon too for sending that because he sent it to us on Saturday. Was that Saturday, Elon? You sent that to us?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Ilan?
Yeah, I think it was Saturday. Yeah, it was Saturday.
Yeah, and that was
It
one
just,
it was
I'm
Saturday.
getting those in an email from the Met.
Mm-hmm.
And I think this is a very nice resource because every email there are like 4 or 5 different small articles about different artists.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just amazing, you know.
Yeah.
And since I like modern art, I'm very impressed over there.
Okay. Well, I mean, yeah.
Plus, I spent, you know, the corona forces us to sit at home. So instead of watching the news that I never do, I see movies like in YouTube about art. I look for art movies, and the BBC has a lot of them. And you find, you know, you look for it, you find it.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff out there that you can really get inspired by. And particularly like on YouTube, you know, there's both the technical kind of how to do stuff, but there's also just things about like art history, like the one that we watched on Franz Hals, right? What, last week?
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, I mean, it gives you some insight into, you know, the art that was created and why it was created. And so that always can give you good ideas, right? Anyway.
Yeah, yesterday I saw one on Picasso. It was amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, I haven't seen that one yet. I'll have to look him up. Because I mean, Picasso is a fascinating artist, you know, and to get some of the background, you know, is always helpful. Him, Salvador Dali, you know, there's a lot of artists that you can reach
You know,
out.
Charles, that's one of the things I want to say. Again, thank Elon for sending that. But one of the other good things about this class, you I've developed friendships with other people, like Elon and I have met and traded art and things like that already that we're working on that project.
Mm-hmm.
And I have an artist, I'm going to send him a YouTube video of this woman who I think, because he likes modern art, I have one I think I'm going to send to him that I think he would like. So this is one of the good things about the class, you know, you make friendships and have some
diverse people.
Yeah, with other people, which is really, really nice. And I do enjoy that part of the class too.
Right.
I see a lot of stuff up for you, Naomi. I wonder if Naomi would like this. I want to send it to you. So if I
you
see
want
something,
to email it to me?
Okay, I will email it to you. I got everybody's email address.
Okay, so email it to me.
I sure will.
Thanks a lot.
You're welcome.
Okay.
Elon, are you getting those videos on television or are you getting them on the internet?
And
The ones
hear it.
the movies that you're watching, are you getting them?
The movies, I look for modern art usually, or abstract art. And if you add to it like a BBC at the search, the BBC has a lot of very interesting art history, and personalized, like yesterday I saw Picasso live. It was very interesting.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I got that. I've seen that documentary too. So I'm just trying to find as many as I can to inspire me. But I
just search for it.
Yeah, I have the documentaries and stuff, but I'm trying to find more.
Yeah.
I can find.
YouTube is a great place to find them, Claudia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can,
Okay.
if you have any particular artist in mind, you know, you can do a Google search, but you can also just go to YouTube. You can do a search there, and all kind of different videos from different sources will come up about those artists. Okay. And you know, if you don't have a particular artist in mind, but let's say that you want to do portraits, you want to do landscapes or something like that, you know, just put in landscape painting or portrait painting or drawing or whatever. Again,
I'm just trying to find as many as I can on the television so I can get away from my computer sometimes in the evening time.
Yeah.
So
do you have cable? I'm sure you.
Yeah, I got YouTube and I have the Brit channel, so I have them. I just have to go there and find some more.
Yeah.
You know,
You're scaring me, lady, with the scissors. What's happening?
Yeah.
I've gone crazy with collage.
Oh yeah, that's good. Actually, one of my favorite birthday gifts that I got this year from my brother was actually he sent me a Fire TV stick.
Oh yeah.
Oh yes.
Yeah, and you know, I had never used anything like that, but actually that's a great thing because it connects directly to the internet, and so you can actually watch all kind of films and everything right there on your TV set, you know, using that Fire Stick. So
it's a great invention. I love it.
right. Yeah, so that's been really helpful, particularly during the last, you know, what, 7 months that we've
I
been.
have Roku. It works about the same way.
Mm-hmm.
Roku.
Yeah, Roku. Yeah, Roku.
Yeah, Roku.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right. They're very similar. Yeah. Anyway, I'm going to share another artist with you. His name is Daniel Sprick. All right. Now, Daniel is, I think he's in Denver, Colorado. All right. But, you know, I find his work particularly inspirational, sometimes a little bit strange, but, you know, inspirational nonetheless. So let's see. Yes, this.
Rain can be good.
Yeah. If you guys hear a lot of tapping in the background, what that is that's compliments of a woodpecker who is working really hard on this house.
It's not good.
Yeah, they you know, this is a wooden house and they love you know, it's just they love this thing, and it's generally like right at like fall that they really attack this thing hard. Anyhow, this is Daniel Sprick. Okay, so Daniel Sprick is really known for his still lives. Okay, and that's mainly what he does. Is he, you know, and I guess you would call them still lives. The thing is, with his still lives, he incorporates so many different elements. You know, landscape, figures, all kinds of things into his paintings. And for me, you know, I really like the way he uses value and light and dark in particular. And for all of you who are painting landscapes and stuff like that, just take a look at how atmospheric, you know, this particular painting looks, and how he's got the distance, you know, the mountains far away, you know, the city, and as it gets closer and closer, you know, you're falling into the shadows, and you've got this still life sitting on a table, which appears to be kind of out on a balcony or a deck or something like that. But a very moody sort of, you know, piece. It, you know, it's not, you know, it's not one of these happy-go-lucky paintings. Here's, you know, one of his, you know, figures. And let me blow her up, because we were talking about like Van Eyck and Frans Hals, and how detailed, you know, they got you know, with their paintings. And if you, you know, obviously, you know, Sprick has taken some liberties with this woman's face, and he's really exaggerated, like the eyes and the cheekbones and things like that. And, you know, she's realistic in a way, and in other ways, you know, not, right? It's almost a little bit disturbing again, you know, in looking at her. Here's one of his still lives that he's known for. And again, you know, just all the little things, you know, like the, you know, whatever was cut on this piece of wood, you know, and dripped over the edge. You know, the flowers themselves, you know, the wood and the texture, the grain of the wood. Okay, again, this is kind of a combination landscape, you know, and figurative piece. And again, look at the light, you know, how he uses, you know, light and shadow. You know, everything is not evenly lit. You know, he's very specific about where he wants to place the light, you know, in these paintings to create a particular mood to them. And, you know, I would think that most people, you know, painting this would put most of the light really right here on the figure, right? But he doesn't. You know, for the most part, she's in some kind of cast shadow, and there's just a few little areas of light. And where the light really exists in this painting is really in the middle ground and the background, you know, the sky and things back there. And it really kind of creates this dramatic contrast. You know, a little bit of a study of, you know, it looks like a comforter, you know, on a bed that's been pulled back. And, you know, most people would look at that and go, yeah, there's really nothing to paint there. But, you know, yeah, he does this beautiful job of, you know, capturing the sense of the volume and the folds, you know, in the fabric, but also look at the surface of the floor and how it's moving back, and it pulls you back in the distance, back into this next room. And it adds this sense of mystery, you know, to the painting, like really what's going on there. You have someplace to go with it.
I'm surprised that you didn't say there's too many folds.
Well, okay, let's go back. Are there? You know,
you're always mentioning that to us. You could do with less folds, Larry.
But they're not all the same. That's what's so. That's what's good about it. There are a lot of folds, but they're not the same. That's right. What he talks about.
Yeah.
Okay, I was just being funny here.
Oh, I'm sorry, Dan.
And I got a fish on the hook.
But yeah, but that's the point, is that they're all different. You know, he's not being repetitive about it.
He's really showing his talent off to be able to paint wrinkles and folds.
Yeah.
And make it look realistic.
Right. And then he does it on this woman as well. No.
Yeah, he did pretty good with the wrinkles.
Yeah. I mean, you know, she has a very, you know, leathery looking face, you know. But you know, I mean, it's believable. You know, that's the thing. You know, it's all very credible. And you know, on top of that, look at look what he did with the hair and how, you know, he treated the hair. There's a lot of individual little paint strokes in there, but he pulled it together into, rather than just all individual, you know, strands of hair, he pulled them together into groups and shapes and forms, and it feels natural, right? Because that's what hair does. And so, you know, he's handled that, I thought, you know, really, really well.
Is he one of those photorealistic?
Pardon?
Is he one of those photorealistic painters that make their make those giant paintings?
Well, no, not really. Some of these are pretty big, but you know, he's not really going for photorealism. You know, he's going more for the mood and kind of the atmosphere of the painting. It'd be hard to kind of categorize him. You know, I mean, you would call him an American realist. You know, he kind of falls into that that art movement, I think, but I wouldn't really call him a photorealist either, because he's not trying to faithfully copy, and in fact, he's really freely distorting, you know, these people's features and faces to exaggerate and to sort of really make a statement about, you know, their character, who they were, you know, or who they are, you know, down to, you know, the reflection, you know, in her sunglasses, right? Same thing with the texture. Now, you know, when you know, enlarge this, this doesn't look photographically real. You know, this looks very painterly. And, you know, that's one of the things about his work. You know, he's kind of tightly representational in some ways and yet very painterly in another. Yeah, this piece.
This is medium, Charles.
He's primarily painting in oil.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so it's pretty much all oil paint. And again, you know, if you look at the lighting on the figure, you know, rather than like lighting up her face and, you know, making that the focal point, really, you see, he puts everything right down here on where the water and her hip and you know, abdomen sort of come together, and really kind of embellishes that area, and everything else is sort of more suggested, including as he moves back in the water, it really just becomes very much so like loose, you know, painterly strokes, right? Again, you know, playing with that, you know, what you choose to render and embellish to hold the person's focal point, and then what you also choose to, you know, leave out or, you know, simplify. Again, this is one of his, you know, rather typical landscapes for him, or not landscapes, still lives. So.
He
And
always has something right on the edge of the table.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I mean, it's always, there's always some kind of like tension, you know, in his work. You know, again, it's not like, you know, he's not doing paintings that really like make you happy and feel good. These all have some sense of kind of like drama to them. You know, this landscape with the water. And again, notice where he really...
Charles, what is his name again?
Daniel Spricke, S-P-R-I-C-K-E. Yeah. Daniel Spricke. Yeah, S-P-R-I-K-E. Spricke.
It's S-P-R-I-C-K.
I-C-K? Okay. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
All right. Anyway.
I-C-K.
Yeah, look right. I mean, that's the focal point right there. So he takes the time to really hone in on, you know, just this little bit of the bank, you know, jutting out into the water. And then all the rest of this is very, very loosely painted, you know, and, you know, there's a strong suggestion that something is there, but, you know, he doesn't really take the time to render it the way that he does, you know, this one particular area, you know, right there where the water and this little bit of grass, you know, jut out into, you know, the stream.
On the piece before with that still life, my eyes went straight to the landscape behind it instead of to the still life itself, to that little pink area like.
Yeah. Yeah, the sky back here.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
It completely avoided what he was, to me, what he's trying to show. I don't know.
Yeah. See, I go back there, but it keeps pulling me across right back.
Back. But
Yes.
it's not, it needed to be something warm there to pull me back in or something, because I keep going. It may lead me back, but it leads me back out to the sky.
Yeah, you kind of keep moving. You know, you don't just stop. And yeah, I actually kind of like that. You know, the fact that you do, your eye keeps roaming. You know, but you always keep coming back to this point, and then kind of venturing out, going different ways from there. There's this piece. Okay. Now, if you look very carefully at this, there's some fairly creepy things in there. You know, you've got a plaster cast of the musculature of the face, particularly around the orbital muscle of the mouth and the jaw, right in there. You've got a skeleton of a bird here, and I'm not sure really what all of this mechanical stuff and wire and stuff is, but you know, you've got this being the focal point, and then he's added in, you know, all the background back there and giving you, you know, something that could have been done in a very shallow space. And, you know, he's created this sense of atmosphere and distance in this painting that, to me,
It looks almost like a photograph.
well, yeah, it's rather, you know, it's really very representational. You know,
What's the black thing on the table? I can't decipher what that is.
you mean
That's
this
the-
right
It's
here?
a drawing.
To the right, to my right. There's
Here?
Oh, wait a minute. Let me get this.
It's a T.
Yeah, there's a
Yeah,
square.
to the right of the glass.
T-square.
Well, there's a T
It's a
square.
T ruler.
It
What
looks
is that? Is that cloth back there behind the candlestick?
like
over?
it. Yeah,
It's a
it looks
flashlight.
like it's like a bag of some sort, maybe like a computer bag. You know, you put your computer in or something. And then he's got like a light bulb. He's got a candlestick.
Candlestick and the glasses.
Yeah, the glasses. It looks like a
I
piece.
couldn't make out what that black bag was. I couldn't figure out the, you know.
On the
I
other
think
end, it
needed
looks like
back
a
there to show off the
butterfly is on
candlestick
there.
and the bulb.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking that this is just a scrap of a piece of paper or something, but yeah.
Charles,
Yes.
But over to the left, it looks like there's a butterfly on that, whatever that instrument is.
Butterfly on the.
All the way over to your left, all the way. Next to the bird skeleton.
Oh, up top.
The other way. Oh, right there.
Yeah, at the top, like, what is that?
Oh, right here.
Oh, I thought it was a butterfly. Okay, no, that's not what that is. I see now.
Yeah, it's some kind of, I don't know. It looks like a stand of some sort with a big plate, and I'm not really sure what all that is.
Yeah.
Charles, can I ask you, if you were going to do this, he obviously set up the information, the display inside.
Mm-hmm.
Did you think that he took a picture of all of that? And if he did, to have that as reference later on, how would you start a painting like that?
I wouldn't.
Well, probably.
Me either.
How would you approach something like that?
Yeah, with a very, very careful series of studies of drawings. You know, studying the light, studying the values, and I'm glad you kind of asked that question, because it gets me back to what I wanted to talk about with this. Again, look at where the lightest lights are. You know, what's the brightest thing in the whole
Top
painting?
sky, to me.
Squint your eye.
The brightest thing is the
The
floor.
corner of the outside.
The floor.
Like it's the floor.
The floor is the brightest thing.
Yeah.
I think the sky is, to me.
Yeah,
The sky is too.
Yeah, the sky is a little bit lighter than the floor, but actually the lightest light in the whole painting, it's right there. That little bit of light. That's your lightest value in the whole painting. And it's just a little touch of it, right? And it's against actually one of the strongest darks in the painting as well, so that you get this, you know, high contrast area, right? And, you know, you could have added a lot of light out here, but see how he subdues everything and makes it subordinate to this light right here to draw your eye right there where he wants you to look. And so again, you know,
you should have a little bit more of it.
I think it's the corner of the porch.
Okay.
Of the deck, deck corner on the wall, the top of the wall.
Yeah. So Ilan, I want you to squint your eye down. Okay.
Yeah.
And tell me, does the corner of that porch right there, is it as bright as that little light right there?
I don't know.
The little light right there is not enough light because my eye barely gets there.
Right. Okay. But again, it's where the highest contrast is in the whole painting.
But there's a little more of it to really draw your eye there, I think. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. But
it's reflective light also.
Yeah. Yeah, it's basically a reflection in the metallic surface of this light bulb that's sitting on the table. But again, he limits it to just one little place in the painting. He doesn't make all the values, you know, that are quote unquote light, you know, as bright. See, even the sky, you know, he subdues the sky, you know, all of the light and everything outside. There's nothing as bright as right there. See? So he's being very, very careful, very selective about where he places that light, you know, to create the effect that he wants.
Does he normally do that in other paintings too?
Yeah, I mean,
just make the little speck.
He's pretty much so done it in every painting we've seen so far. You know, again, look at the overall values. You know, they're all kind of subdued, right?
And it goes from yellow to the red to almost to the alizarin value in the brick.
Yeah. But you see right here, the corner of the house, just that little corner, he's catching a really bright light here, here, and right in here. See, and it kind of just pulls you across. And really, there's parts of this house, you know, this wall right here, that are as bright. It seems brighter right along the edge here.
Right.
Yeah. You know,
but your eye still goes back to that small lit area on the roof in the darkest part in the front.
Yeah, you got more.
Charles, can you
more
explain a little bit about his method and technique in applying the paint?
Well, you know, in looking at this, you would kind of think that this is not really that large of a painting, right? It's probably like an 1824 or something like that, because you can actually, if you look very carefully, see the brushwork, you know, and how the paint was laid in on these surfaces, right? You know, he's not, I think it was Eloise was asking whether, you know, you would consider him a photorealist. And the fact is, no, you know, because when you look at any of his paintings, you can see very clearly how they're constructed, and that he's not trying to fool your eye into making you think that this is a brick or a stuccoed wall or anything. You know, you look at the surface of the canvas, and clearly it's paint. You know, it's, you know, and he's not like cleaning up all the edges, you know, he's putting a paint stroke down. But when you back away from it, you know, the illusion, you know, that this is a building, you know, with the light coming in from the left, you know, is complete. You know, it gives you everything you need, you know, to read that.
Is that yellow part of the building done with a palette knife? Looks like it from close up.
Yeah, there's a lot of texture on it. I don't think it's a palette knife, though. I think it's just, you know, heavily laden. Yeah, a brush with a lot of paint on it.
Okay.
Because it looks more like a paint stroke rather than a, you know, a stroke with a palette knife.
Okay.
So he does it in many layers, right? In which case it would kind of like time consuming or not?
Oh yeah. Yeah. You know, Søren,
yeah,
there are painters out there.
Uh-huh.
They're not in a hurry, okay? You know, it's not about cranking it out fast.
Okay.
It's about creating the illusion that they want, and they'll take as long as they need to do it. Okay. So yeah, you know, it's a little different mindset. You know, you seem to be in this huge hurry. You know, you want to get it done yesterday, right? And you know, sometimes that works for you. You know, other times you need to slow down. Okay.
Yeah, slow enough already.
Yeah, again, you know, a landscape, very moody. Again, you know, look at the use of color, you know, from cooler temperatures to warmer temperatures. And Søren, notice how there are areas where the paint is relatively flat versus something textural, right? You know, the texture is not everywhere in the painting. It's just in, you know, very specific areas that he wants to, you know, draw your attention to, right? But again, you know, it's playing with that light and shadow. You know, that seems to be his thing. That's what he kind of does.
Charles, the shadows on the leaves at the right, did he glaze over after everything was dry or what?
He probably
the picture.
Yeah, he probably started off here with that darker green, and then he built up the lights all around it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, leaving these falling into shadow again.
So that he didn't paint over it, huh?
I'm thinking not. I'm thinking he probably started off again, you know, with that darker green, and then built up, you know, the lighter, you know, I mean, it gets too pixelated to really tell, but again, it looks like lighter paint was put on top of a darker background all through there. Okay.
I would easily guess if it was me, speculating that he would glaze over with the shadows, but maybe not.
Søren, that's another way of getting there, you know? Yeah. There's 1,000 different ways to do it, all right? The fact is, though, that he thought about it and he did it. He put it in there and it works, right? It gives you that feeling of that broken light pattern, you know, across the surface of these leaves and even the tree trunk, stuff like that, okay? But, and again, you know, look at the use of color. There's so much color in here, but it's controlled very carefully, you know, and subdued in most of the areas of the painting, you know, so that he could get the, you know, the exact effect that he wanted here. So
it almost looks like a waterfall to the left of the screen.
Waterfall?
Yeah, instead of the trees right there by the, yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah. I kind of read it as a stream with, you know, with the water running by.
I'm talking about the yellow patch instead of the rocks or trees. It looks almost like the yellow waterfall right there.
Oh, here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Where the light
Yeah.
is hitting the bank and stuff?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I just read it as a bank that's been lit up. You
That
know?
is really pretty.
Yeah, but you could read it as a waterfall if you want.
Yeah. Sure.
It's fine.
Hmm.
You know, there's this guy, you know, a lot of character. Now, another thing that he does to sort of imply the idea of movement, sometimes, you know, he'll take his figures and he'll make them almost transparent.
Yeah.
See how the car is kind of coming through the
Coming
sleeve?
from the sleeve, yeah.
Yeah, it's almost like it just sort of disappears.
Right.
And in a way, you know, he's kind of signaling people that, you know, that arm just got raised up there. You know, it's still moving.
Right. Moving.
Oh, okay.
You know, it's kind of an interesting approach to it. It makes it, in a way, very kind of surreal.
Yeah.
You know, and this guy's, you know, got a lot of character in his face.
Reflection again in the sunglasses.
Huh?
That's interesting. He does a lot of reflection in his people's sunglasses.
Yeah, he does. Yeah. You know, and again, you know, look at how he handled the hair.
Yeah.
And it's kind of laid in. You know, you look at it and go, well, gee, you know, there's all these paint strokes that are all individual pieces of hair. But, you know, he doesn't like overdo it. You know, he puts in just enough
to catch the movement of the wind. And
well,
that's-
right, and the form of the shape of the hair as it moves, you know, around the guy's face. So, you know, so he really only puts in what he needs, you know, and if he doesn't need it, then he leaves it out, and that's kind of the beauty of his work. You know, he's really good at editing.
Okay.
Okay, let's see. Well, we're down. Why? Here, maybe I have to. Whoop. Oh, I don't know why it stopped, but okay. All right, let's go back to screen sharing. Yeah, it's like that whole window closed. Yeah. Okay.
The ghost is in your house now. Tell him to put the picture back on.
Yeah, well, yeah, I think we need to go find it now, is the problem. Here, let's close that. Oh, preview unexpectedly quit. Okay. Wow. Well, thank you for that. Thank you. Here, let's see. Let's go back up to about right there. Oh, okay. It brought everything back. Yay! All right. All right. So, yeah, let's zoom back out and then we can go. Whoop, that's zooming in. That's zooming out. Okay. Yeah, let's see. Oh, okay. There we go.
We can't see it, Charles.
You can't see anything because I haven't shared it with you yet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I'm getting ahead of myself here.
All right.
All right. Sorry about that. All right. So yeah, that's the next image. You know, and again, you know, his stuff is very moody.
Weird.
Weird. Okay. Yeah, it could be weird. You know.
That's a scene I don't think I'd ever think about.
Uh-huh.
Canvas. I don't think I'd ever, that scene does not say anything to me except people.
Looks like relaxing in the water to me.
What does it say to you?
Nothing
Relaxing in the
except maybe some people relaxing in water. It doesn't seem like it's so picturesque to me.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Different strokes for different folks.
Yeah, again,
There's a face facing out. The other two are the body that's soaked in there for, what do you call it? Kind of a hot spring or something.
Hot tub.
Yeah, well, yeah, it kind of looks like maybe a hot springs, you know, something like more natural than like a pool or something like that. And again, you know, it's got this. It's kind of it's a little disturbing, you know.
How?
Hmm.
How is
I
it?
don't think it's disturbing. I just think it's just.
Because it's.
So it's beautiful. It is actually a natural place for soaking. You can see the sand on the side.
Yeah, it's kind of a very dark
Hot spring.
feeling. Yeah, you kind of wonder.
Wait. What was your? How do you think it's disturbing?
Just because, yeah, well, you know, the figures are all laying back, you know, with their heads up in the water, and yeah, they look relaxed in a way, but it's so dark and so kind of moody.
But not two heads together.
I find it
Two
uninteresting.
female heads is not natural.
Well, there's
Two female heads. Is that her head? Is that two women?
There are three women there laying
there are three women.
in the spring. It's three women.
Well, the guy that on the right looks like a guy.
No, that's all women.
No, over here.
No, yeah.
Say
This is
that's-
the face.
He looks like Jack Nicholson in one of his movies.
Yeah, I would say it looks like an older woman, but that's just me.
Midnight swim.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
I think he tried to take the picture of this, but you're not supposed to take the picture. So he take it in the dark and a bit vague. That's why it turned out to be this way. It's not a very nice picture taken, but that was what it is, I guess. Because I think all those are naked women.
You think they're all naked? Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
But why two heads together like that? That's not natural.
They're floating. They're floating in the water.
Floating.
The
They
right
can-
one is
like
floating. The left two are actually while washing the neck and the head.
What I wonder about are those drips that are on the bottom left. What are those drips?
Well, and again, you know, see, he's not trying to be
realistic.
And he's being very painterly. He's letting you know this is really just paint. You know?
You know, it's a midnight swim.
Yeah. Yeah. Skinny dipping at the hot
Well,
spring.
you got it.
There we go. We just retitled it. Okay.
Floating heads.
I'm sure he would appreciate that. Okay.
Man.
You know, but you see how a painting like that, you know, some people kind of like really don't relate to it, and other people kind of, you know, there's all these stories, you know, that you can come up with based on your own experience. You know, everybody's seeing something different here.
Yeah.
Right. And that's the beauty of a piece of artwork, is that you
conversation.
Well, it's the idea that, you know, whatever the painter's intent was, right?
Right.
It doesn't really matter, because the only thing that really matters is how you
What you
react
see.
to it. You know, what you see
That's
in
right.
it. So, you know, this guy, I'm trying to,
I've seen him somewhere.
well, it kind of reminds me of Mel Brooks.
Oh, maybe so. Maybe that's why I think.
But
yeah.
it's but it's not. It's somebody who just has a face that kind of reminds you of Mel Brooks. It's not Mel Brooks. You know, this guy is really intense, you know, and really serious. Unlike Mel Brooks, who, you know,
It's his 100th birthday.
But yeah, again, you know, look at the light and how he turns the form, you know, on this face.
Yes.
And the shift in temperature, you know, from very warm over to, you know, very cool, right? And very dark, right? Okay.
Lines by the shoulders, is that what he drew and didn't paint through?
Yeah, again, you know, that's kind of, you know, his initial just,
Lock
okay. You know, the shoulders are there, and then,
Right.
and then he, you know, restated it and put it somewhere. And, you know, again, you know, he's not trying to fool you.
Yeah.
You know, the only area where he's really focused on and really trying to give you the illusion
The face.
is really right up here. And then the rest of this is, okay, yeah, there's shoulders and there's a shirt and it's somewhere in there, and okay. Yeah. anyway, let's keep moving here. Again, you know, it's a hollyhock, I would guess.
Looks like.
Looks like a white hibiscus.
Okay. Yeah. Anyway, but look at how he used, you know, the paint to really describe the form. You can see the paint stroke, you know, out there. See, to really get that movement, you know, of how it moves around the petal.
Center down the pedal.
Yeah. You know, same thing with these, you know, how he moved it around the form, right? So, you know, he's being very conscientious about how he uses those things. You know, another landscape, right? You know, beautiful atmospheric distance in there. You know, that's a challenge, you know, for most of you guys who, you know, if you try to incorporate landscape, is to try to get that sense of depth and distance. And so he would be great for you to look at and just try to figure out what he's doing, you know?
Yeah, I need to look at that.
Yeah. You know, wonderful character, you know, in this guy's face. Again, look at the lighting, you know, where the light and the shadows are.
And look how the left color melts. The right color kind of melts into the background.
Yeah.
Whoa.
She's the happiest person he's painted so far.
That's a very interesting model.
Yeah, she's got a real striking face.
Right, and hairdo and
yeah, but yeah,
jewelry.
the jewelry and stuff.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Elongated neck, nice.
Yep. Yeah, and the thing is, you know, she doesn't look like a real young woman. You know, she's not. You know, she's not this young, like, what you would consider, you know, a fashion type model or anything. You know, she looks like a real
20
person.
years old.
Yeah, but she's got, you know, she's got some character and some personality to her face.
Absolutely.
You know.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Again, you know, somebody who's you know, probably not like a real young model. You know, she looks like probably, you know, 30-ish, late 30s or whatever. You know, not your ideal type, you know, body type. But again, you know, beautifully painted, you know, all in shadow except for just a little bit of light, you know, coming from behind. Right? Yeah. Here's a pregnant woman. Okay. Again, you know, beautiful shape and form, you know, the way he handles the skin tones.
Yeah.
Pretty typical still life, you know, for him. And again, you know, look at the paint, you know, how it's just kind of layered on there and built up.
Boy, that's pretty.
Yeah. Same thing, you know, with her. Yeah, we've got quite a few still yet to go. You know, again, you know, another human figure. You know, look at the form in the couch and in like across her rib cage in her body, right?
Mm-hmm.
Again, you know, really, really expert use of value and handling temperature, intensity, the color. You know, these guys, you know.
Charles,
Yes.
I know you said some artists are not in a hurry. I guess they don't have commissions they have to meet deadlines for or anything, but how long would you think it would take someone to paint something like this or any of these more intricate pictures, paintings, I mean?
Yeah, probably like that small still life, probably he could probably knock out in 10 to 12 hours, right? But, you know, these more intricate paintings, I would say he's probably going to be spending close to 100 hours on each of these. At least, you know, at least.
Wow.
Love the subtleties of the background, the trees and the going up to the skies.
Right.
That's beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you could tell that the tops of these trees are getting like early morning sunlight,
Yeah.
Right?
Really pretty.
And they're almost like on fire. They're just ablaze, and then it falls into these blue and purple shadows.
Hey, Charles.
Yes.
Charles, I have to say that this guy is one of the best.
Yeah, he's got some amazing work. Yeah. And believe me, you know, there are a lot of good painters out there.
I'm not talking about just painting skill, but his design, his, you know, abstract approach, overall ability to create interest in his painting, I think is one of the best.
Okay. Yeah. Eloise
Not just skill, but also the design, you know.
Yeah, Eloise may disagree with you because she doesn't seem that interested in his work. Yeah, and again, you know, it's like everybody's going to be different, right? Yeah, not everybody's going to like the same thing, and that's fine.
His pictures look so much like photographs.
Uh-huh.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but you know, they are realistic, and yet they're so kind of moody.
Mm-hmm.
She looks like she's not even on that rug.
Uh-huh. What do you mean by that? She's
floating.
Like she's floating above it? Okay.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Okay. Maybe she is.
Light on your feet.
Yeah, maybe.
All right.
Yeah, maybe she is levitating. I don't know.
Hey,
Yeah.
Charles, before we leave the class,
Mhm.
is it okay for you to give me the names of the acrylic paints that you use at the studio? Because I'm trying to put together a collection of paints.
Okay, yeah. We used just binders.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, just
But the
binders.
names of the paint, the color.
You mean like the names of the colors?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you what. I'm not going to take all the time, you know,
Right.
here. But what I'll do is I'll put it in an email and send it to you.
Okay, wonderful.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
All right. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, nice. Again, you know, not your ideal figure, right? But look what he does with it. You know,
The
I mean,
colors of the legs, they're cold and hot down just on the legs.
yeah. But she looks like somebody who has a lot of strength.
Right.
You know,
She's planted.
in her body.
Yes.
Very, and there's this physicality to her, you know. And then you've got this figure, and where the other looked like there was a lot of strength, she
There's
looks
not.
she looks fragile.
Demure, yeah.
Yeah. So
So he's very interesting.
well, that's why I showed him to you. You know,
Yeah, I figured.
we're trying to show you guys some interesting
You're trying
stuff.
to show us good taste.
Well, you know, I mean, you know, taste is one of those things. Again, you know,
Yeah.
some people are going to like certain
Individualistic.
types of work. Other people are not going to relate to it. But the thing is, what I'm trying to show you is I'm trying to show you artists who are technically skilled, but not only just technically skilled, also have interesting things to say and talk about in their work. You know, whether you can relate to it directly or not. You know, these people definitely have something to say. You know, they're not, you know, they're not just out there painting turnips. Or if they are painting turnips, then they're turnips with an attitude. Okay.
There you go.
So
He's exceptional, I think. He's very good.
yeah, Eloise,
She went out.
yeah, we lost you.
Oops.
Okay.
Well,
Cheers.
I think he's very good.
Yeah, technically he is. He's a very good painter. You know, and the thing I like about him is, you know, he really masterfully handles light and shadow, you know, and color. You know, very good draftsman, draws very well, designs those canvases, you know, meticulously so that, you know, they really are strong compositions. You know, very seldom, you know, do you see anything by him that's just kind of plopped right out there in the middle, you know. And it's, you know, he puts a lot of thought, a lot of effort, a lot of care into everything that he does. Okay.
It looks like he puts a lot of time in it too.
Yeah. Yeah. But hey, look, you know, if you're creating and selling paintings the way he is, he can take the time to do it. Okay?
Right.
So anyhow, thank you all. Okay, that's your inspiration.
Thank you.
Okay, guess what we're gonna do this afternoon? We're gonna get
Keep
inspired by
talking.
looking. Yeah, we're gonna get inspired by looking at you guys' work. Okay, and a lot of you sent in things from this challenge. Okay, if any more of you have things that you still have yet to submit, go ahead, email them to me so I can get them downloaded. And please, again, try to label them, put your name on them. Okay, that will save me a lot of time. All right.
Hey,
All right.
Charles, I can't help but it looks like you're drawing something behind you.
It looks like
That is-
I'm drawing something behind.
Was something? Yeah, there's a painting behind you. I'm just
Oh, yeah.
inquisitive.
Oh no, no, no! There is definitely a painting behind.
Oh, that's nice.
Yes, there are several paintings behind.
Very nice. I like that one. Yeah.
Okay.
When are you going to show us the landscape you started in your from your backyard that you were painting, I guess, a couple of weeks ago?
Well, that's been 3 months ago.
Well, you know, when you're in a place like this, your time is
Yeah, time.
crazy.
Well, and the thing is, it's like, you know, I haven't really gotten that one finished, but I'll give you an update. I'll show you where I've got it right now.
Okay.
One of the, let's see, what did I do? I did about 7 of them. Okay, I've done about 7 different compositions from there. Okay.
Well,
But
you had
I'll-
started on the big one, and you were in the tree.
Mhm.
I mean, you had started a large painting on it.
Right. Yeah.
That's the one I remember.
Okay. All right. Well, maybe on Wednesday, right? Day after tomorrow. Yeah, I'll photograph that whole series and try to
Okay.
give you an update. Okay.
I'd love to see it.
Okay. All right.
Thank you.
Anyway, between now and 2 o'clock,
Have a good lunch.
have a good lunch. Nap. Catch up on your favorite TV program, whatever you do for the next hour and a half or so. Okay. And we'll be back here at 2 o'clock. Okay.
Wonderful.
Okay.
Thank
See
you.
everybody then. Bye.
See you all.
Bye.
It was good seeing everybody. Okay. Have a good one.